Hello everybody and welcome to another video. We will be looking at FL Studio 20 and how compression works. So what I'm going to do first is just load up a nice juicy 808 kick drum sample, and let's just have a look at the waveform. So our waveform basically starts out quite loud and then it tails off and goes quite quiet. So we talk about the dynamic range of an audio signal being the difference between the loudest point and the quietest point. So you can see the shape of this waveform looks a little bit like an arrowhead. And when we compress audio, we're basically going to force this arrowhead down a variable sized pipe so that it squashes it down and sort of flattens it out. So compression isn't making things louder per se. It's actually making the dynamic range between the highest and the lowest sound closer together. So it's squeezing that audio into the pipe. Obviously, it's going to make it quieter. So we use what's called makeup gain to increase the size of the pipe and also along with it, increase the size of the sample or increase the size of the audio. So let's just close that and give ourselves a little bit of a drum pattern to work with. So on insert 1 on the mixer, I'm not going to use Fruity Compressor. I'm going to use the Fruity Limiter. It's a lot more visual to what I'm going to be explaining. So along with the limiter, I'm also going to add dB meter so we can see what is happening with the audio levels. So if we run this, I'm just adjusting the channel volume until it hits -6, so we've got something to work with. So on your limiter, I'll tell you what, we'll just mute this for a moment so you can hear what I'm saying. On your limiter, if you just go to compression, this is where we'll start to compress the sound. So essentially what we want to do is get the highest sound and the lowest sound to come closer together to bring this kick drum out in any potential mix. So at the moment, no audio is being compressed because no audio is going over the threshold here that is set at 0 dB. Obviously, our signal's not hitting 0 dB. So if we bring this down just to where that kind of little dip in the audio is. So again, no compression is happening because we then need to adjust the ratio. So the ratio is basically set at the moment to a ratio of 1:1. So if you go 1 dB over the threshold, it will squeeze it down by 1 decibel as well. So we're sort of expanding out the sample to then crush it back down. But you'll see what I mean as I increase the ratio. So you can see here that the sample is getting quite flat now. If I just take the compressor off, it's obviously just squashed the higher part of the audio signal down. Obviously now it's dropped to around about -18. So what we'll use is something called makeup gain, or the gain on your compressor, just to bring it back up to -6. There we go. So we haven't actually made the audio any louder. We've just made the quieter bits. We've just expanded the quieter bits. Well, to be honest, we've compressed the louder bits to equal out the dynamic range of the audio. Okay, so what I've done is I've slowed the track down to 100 beats per minute, and I've also made the Fruity limiter bigger on screen so we can see what's happening. So essentially, if we look at the kick waveform, you can see that the purple here, which is sort of surrounded by a blue line, is the original unaltered audio signal. Then you can see that the sort of pale green or almost like a grey colour area is the compressed kick drum signal. So you can see the effect that the compression is having. So if we turn the threshold all the way up back to 0, you can see the grey area now fills what was originally the purple area because nothing is being compressed. So let's bring this back down again. So you can see these peaks in the grey colour are being compressed down to match that of the lower gain of the sample. And then again we're down to -18 again, so we need to increase the makeup gain, get this to hit back to -6. And what that's sort of doing now is making that kick drum stand out in the mix, or any potential mix that we're gonna have. So the next setting you'll notice now is knee. What knee does is it's the transition between the uncompressed signal going down to the compressed signal. So if we have a soft knee, that transition between the signal not being compressed to then being compressed is quite smooth. We are transitioning lower to the compressed signal. If we go to a hard knee, the difference is that the uncompressed signal will go down very quickly and transition to a compressed signal. If I'm wrong, you'll have to comment and let me know. So it's all about just having a play with the settings and see how you get on. So the next part of the compression is the envelope. So if we put the knee back so that it transitions slower into the compressed part of the signal, we get that little click at the beginning. If we adjust the attack time, hopefully this should make the compression happen further down in time. So as you can sort of hear, we get more of a click. If we bring the attack straight in so that it happens at 0 milliseconds, you can see it's just shaving off that click. Okay, same with the release. If you put the release all the way down to 0 milliseconds, it stops compressing the signal quicker than if you increase the release. So when we say compressing, that's when the signal starts to go quieter and more squashed together, and then obviously we counteract that with a makeup gain. And then the sustain is basically how long the compression lasts for. Not really going to make much difference on a very short kick sample, but if we bring the compression in straight away and have the release happening straight away, it is sustaining how long the compression of the signal lasts for. So you can't really, this is a bad example to do it on a kick drum, but if you had a long bass sound that sort of curves off, you can increase the amount of time that over the length of the bass sample or the bass sound that compression lasts for. This is all about really adjusting the envelope so that the whatever audio that you're compressing, you're happy with the sound. To be honest, most people would just go for one of the presets because they're set for various things like drums or vocals or a complete mix. But I want to keep this video relatively short, and that basically covers the basics of how compression works. Thank you for watching. If you do like this video and find it useful, please subscribe, and then you'll be notified when more videos get uploaded to my channel. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon.